This is Rocken Larry Locken with Pleiadian Express Productions. I'm coming to you this Saturday morning from the Great Pacific Northwest, the Oregon coast to be specific. We're walking down the street right now where my dad lives and where he grew up. It's not the same house. The house he grew up in is a little ways down. You know, I've had a chance to do some deep thinking, deeper thinking than I've ever done before in my life. I was in a treatment center for 45 days for alcohol, and it was just a wonderful experience. I learned things that I never thought I would know. I learned coping skills. I learned how to notice when I'm getting triggered by something, you know, and not to mention that I've just, for the first time in my life, had an awareness about me, you know, a peace and a calm, not having to worry about where I get my next drink. You know, the coping skills have taught me, you know, why I did some of the things I did, and, you know, some of the things that stem from my childhood. I learned a lot about coping with those. I want to take a break from the conversation for a second, though, and show you this. This is a rhododendron bush. Why am I showing you this? Not just because it's cool, but this thing is over 100 years old. Yeah, it's over 100 years old. So anyway, like I was saying, I've taken time to really understand what made me an addict, you know, and I got the tools to stay sober for the rest of my life. I'm in it to win it this time. No matter what obstacle comes my way, I'm definitely in it to win it. You know, I enjoy walking sober, just kind of meditating while I'm walking. You don't have to be sitting with your legs crossed and your hands and palms open to meditate. You can meditate, believe it or not, while you're walking. Just enjoying the scenery, noticing little things that, you know, a person may not have noticed when they were under the influence of drugs or alcohol. Yeah, it feels really good. That's not to say there won't be a lot of obstacles, because there will be. But I've got my mind set on working the program, getting my peer support certificate after a year of sobriety. And after 2 years of sobriety, I would like to try for my CDAC1. That's a counselor at a treatment facility, particularly Serenity Lane, which is wonderful. You know, even if you don't have an alcohol or drug problem, every human being could benefit from like 2 weeks from that place. Just amazing. You know, I was going there to just get off alcohol and, you know, get the medical attention I needed and get some time sober there where they could monitor me. But along the way, like I said earlier, I picked up a lot of great coping skills. And it just, this is disgusting. I hate when people throw their trash on the ground and don't pick it up. Kind of makes me sad for Mother Earth if that goes on. But anyway, regardless of that, you know, I learned coping skills. I learned how to deal with a lot of the trauma I had as a child. And I've learned to put it in perspective. You know, I don't really have a lot to say, but I'm just taking this walk and enjoying the scenery. Much love to everybody out there. I hope you're having a great weekend too. Yeah, this neighborhood, it's kind of gotten run down over the years. Believe it or not, it used to be kind of a, you know, not quite upper middle class neighborhood, but a pretty solid middle class neighborhood. As we continue to walk, here in about a minute, I'm going to show you the house where my dad and his brothers and sisters lived from the time they were teenagers, you know, until they were adults when they moved out here from South Dakota in the summer of 1959. Just the awareness is beautiful, and even though it's an overcast day, I'm giving myself some grace And I have so much gratitude for being sober today. It's just an amazing, wonderful experience. The difference this time with me quitting is going back to those coping skills again I learned. You know, plus I don't want to die. I want to be there for my children and eventually grandchildren, and taking care of my dad and my stepmom who had a stroke recently, and she's got a bad infection on her feet. They say it's borderline gangrene, but we'll have to go up to Eugene to a specialist and check that out. There it is. The old house. It's no longer in the Locken family due to some issues with a will and somebody being greedy. You know what they say, where there's a will, there's a way. Well, where there's a will, there's usually a fight. But this house was originally yellow. Then it was painted a lime green for several years until Grandma Locken in her later years wanted it painted back to the original color. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. I just hope everybody's doing well out there, getting in tune with themselves, getting in tune with their higher self and over self. Like I said, I've got a lot to be grateful for. And for the first time in my life, sober, I'm enjoying just being in the present moment. Not future tripping, not past tripping, but just learning to enjoy life. With that being said, I'm going to walk back to my dad's and help my stepmom get set up for breakfast. It's been a pleasure, and I wish you all a great afternoon.